Hello YouTube, we are back with another redstone tutorial, and in today's video, as you can see, we are looking at a 4x4 funnel lamp door. And it's not just any old funnel lamp door, it's a fancy funnel lamp door. So as you can see, we've got the redstone blocks at the sides and the redstone lamps at the top and bottom. Now this was a challenge from Fenno in the last video. He commented below and he just basically said try making a smaller, or basically something like that. And I did, but his is two-sided and this is only one-sided, so as you can see, if I go over here, it's only one-sided. But that was basically that was just my intentions, really. Because basically I couldn't really make the double-sided one any smaller, because the layout was just like such a pain to like get ready and get basically smaller. So I decided to make a one-sided version that is too wide. So that is really cool, and it's pretty darn small. So yeah, it's really good. But yeah, as you can see, it just goes out like 4 wide more. So 4 wide, like in total on each side, or on both sides. So that's basically like not as small as possible, or not even the smallest. But it probably is, but because like it's a pretty new concept. But yeah, so as you can see, it's like it's got a really cool little thing. But by the way, MisaXage actually helped me with the top here, so link will be in the description of his channel. He does actually great quality stuff, and he's great at like redstoning as well. So yeah, so definitely check him out. But yeah, so what we want to start off with is a bottom. So as you can see, this is basically the bottom in all its glory. And it's basically just 2 double piston extenders side by side, and then have 2 normal sticky pistons right there. And you want to have 2 redstone lamps at the double piston extenders, and then have your wall block right, or your door block right there, and then your floor blocks right here. So just like that. Now for the sides, it's really quite easy. All you got to do is you want to come 2 blocks out from the bottom right there, and then have a column of 4 sticky pistons going up, just like that. And that's going to handle your door blocks for the sides as well. And then you want to have 2 sticky pistons just like that. And that is your sides layout done. All you got to do is put in the blocks. So you want to basically just repeat this, or repeat that on this side as well. So you want to have your door blocks just like that, then have a normal like wall block, and then a wall block, and then have your redstone blocks there. Now I'll put the other one in at the end, because it basically just like buds itself, and then it will update like random, or like if you do anything really. But yeah, so basically you just want to repeat that on the other side as well. And then for the top bit, it's basically the bottom but just flipped over. So these are just going to be your ceiling blocks, then your door blocks just like that, or just right there, then your ceiling blocks right there. Then 2 blocks up from this block right here, you want to have a sticky piston, and another one right there, and then have your double piston extenders and take out that block. And then you want to have your redstone lamps like that. And as you can see, that's basically the layout done. So we want to start with the wiring now. So you want to start things off with a hopper dropper thing, or monostable, not really monostable though, right here, and then have a block up right there, and then have a block there with a comparator taking the signal out of the hopper there, and then have a block up right there with another hopper dropper thing, or monostable, right here. So you want to have your dropper right there, and then have your hopper right in front of it, and have a torch right there. And don't forget to put a item in the dropper right there, and as well in this one. So there we go. Then what you want to do is you want to have a block up right there, then have a comparator. So that will be taking the signal out of the hopper when it activates. Then have a piece of dust there, and then have a repeater on 2 ticks going into a block right there. Now for the last bit right here, all you got to do is you want to have a redstone dust on a block right there. Then have a half slab, and this is basically, I think, one of the only half slabs we're going to have in the whole contraption. So then you want to have a piece of dust right there, and then have another one right there. And you basically want to repeat that whole thing on this side, except for the comparator thing. Basically what you want to do instead, you want to have a repeater on 1 tick, and then have another repeater on 1 tick, like that. Then have a block up right there, then have a block down like that, with a redstone dust there, and then have a half slab there, and then have a redstone dust all along there. So it should look something like that, and it should be somewhat mirrored on the other side. And then what you want to do is you want to have your hopper dropper falling edge monostable right here. So you want to put in your dropper right there, and then your hopper as well. So just like that, and then have your redstone dust on top of that. Then have your block, then a repeater on 2 ticks, and a block up there with a comparator down there. And that is your top done, or at least your double piston extenders. And don't forget to put an item in the dropper right there. And let's just test that. So this is basically going to be your input block. Now you can have a redstone dust going into that, but remember to not redirect it. So you want to have it pointing into that right there. And you can also use a repeater if you want, but a redstone dust is cheaper. So let's just test that. And I've forgotten that we need a non-stackable item in the first dropper hopper thing, because we need to have the pulse go down all the way down to here, and that's basically only 3 blocks. So what you want to do is you just want to have a non-stackable item in there, like a wooden sword for instance, and then we can turn it off and it will retract itself, so that's good. And let's just do it one more time so we know it will work. And there we go. So that's pretty cool and working. Now for the sides, all you got to do now is you want to have a block here, so just diagonal to the dropper right there, with a piece of dust on it, and then have a sticky piston below it with a redstone block below that as well. And then what you want to do is you want to have a redstone dust on a block right there, with a block below that redstone block right there, with a dust on top of that block right there, and then have a redstone torch right there with a block up, and then have another redstone torch right there with a block up there, and then have a repeater on 1 tick going into that block right there, or right there basically. And lastly, all you gotta do is you want to have a repeater, or not a repeater, but a block down right there with a piece of dust there, and then have a block up right there. And then you want to have a normal piston just like that, and that will be basically updating this piston right there, because it doesn't actually update on its own. So that's why we need to bud update it, or block update it really. But yeah, so as you can see, it's working, and the size definitely is working. And let's just see the closing, or the opening really. And as you can see, it's working. So let's just repeat that on this side. So you want to start things off with your block diagonal to the dropper with a piece of dust on it, and then have a sticky piston facing down with a redstone block right there, and then have a dust there. Then have a block below the redstone block with a piece of dust right there, and then have a block up there with a torch, and make sure to make it so that this one, or the redstone block there, stays there. And then have a block there with a torch here, and have a block up with a repeater on one tick there. Then what you want to do is you want to have a block down right here with a piece of dust there, then a block up, and then what you want to do is you want to have a sticky piston, oh no, not a sticky piston, but a normal piston right there, one block up from where I put it there. But yeah, and also we want to put in our redstone block right there. And then if we test that, as you can see, it will be working, and it will open itself. So that's great, and really good news. So let's do some more wiring for the bottom. So what you want to start things off with is a sticky piston facing down from this redstone dust right there. So it should be powered right now, and when it's on, it's basically not powered. So then what you want to do is you want to have a 3-tick repeater right there, and basically this is really important that you remember which side the 3-tick repeater is on, because on this side you want to have a 4-tick repeater. So this will be on 4 ticks right there, and basically it's just like the sticky piston with the redstone block there. And the easy way to find out is the 4-tick repeater is on the dropper side, and then the 3-tick repeater is on the hopper side. So the hopper dropper right here, and also the 3-tick repeater is on with the sides on there, basically, or the sides there. So that's a good way of knowing how which way is which. But yeah. Then what you want to do is you want to have a repeater, oh not from your repeater, you want to have a piece of dust right there, then have a redstone torch on the side of that block with another sticky piston with a redstone block in front of that. And then repeat basically the same thing on this side, so redstone dust right there, torch, and then have a repeater on a sticky piston with a redstone block in front of that right there. Then what you want to do is you want to get a hopper dropper falling edge monotable right here. So we'll just do this on each side, and a hopper as well, and just like that. So it should look something like that. And then have a block there with a comparator on it. That will then be taking in output from the hopper. And don't forget to put an item in the dropper, so it'll actually give an item single strength out, and also put a comparator on the other side. But then what you want to do is nearly done. All you got to do now is you want to have a half slab right there, and then have a dot there, and then check what tick this piston or this repeater is on. And if it's on the 3-tick one, you want to have a repeater on 1 tick right here, and over on this side, so if this side's on 4 ticks, or that repeater's on 4 ticks, and then you want to have a repeater on 2 ticks right there. And that is basically it. And let's just test it right now. As you can see, the closing is working, and then the opening should be, and it is. So that is it, and it's really quite easy to make once you know what side is what. And don't forget your wiring and your tick things right here. It's a little complicated to do that bit right there, but once you know, and if it doesn't work like first try, all you got to do is just switch it around. If it doesn't work with the repeaters on 3 ticks and 1 tick, and then 4 ticks and then 2 ticks. But yeah, that is it. I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial on the fancy funnel lamp door, or like 4x4 fancy funnel lamp door, I think. But yeah, that is it. I hope you guys did enjoy. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and also check out MisaXage in the description. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. rate, comment, and subscribe, and peace.